The culmination of a year of hard work, it's the 2010 National Capital Bowl on Rogers TV. Hello everyone, welcome inside the Rogers Center. I'm Joe Pogue. It's been quite a week for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. 3 wins in 7 days, including a 21-7 romp over the St. Peter Knights. They've started the year 0-2, have won 7 straight games, and now have a berth here at the Rogers Center. The highlights from the game against St. Peter, 7 minutes remain in the first quarter when Brett Irwin threw a touchdown pass to Josh Thompson. That made it 7-0 Sydenham, and we jump to the fourth now. Sydenham up 8-1 with less than 4 minutes to go. A huge touchdown for St. Peter's. They missed the convert though. That made it 8-7, and then with a little bit over 2 minutes to go, this is the touchdown pass from Juan Nova down to the right-hand corner, and scooping that up was Dennis Gagne. That pulled St. Peter to within 1, but Sydenham would not be denied. A flea flicker to Josh Thompson, who throws open to a wide Ollie Moyse. That made it 14-7 Sydenham. That was the final nail in the coffin as they cruised to a 21-7 victory, and then a final pick at the end of the game. Kieran Doyle took it all the way to the house for the final major score, and that is how the Sydenham Golden Eagles got their berth in this game today. The Golden Eagles' path to the championship was a sordid one. They just slipped past the Holy Cross Crusaders in the Kingston Championship in the association final. They tripped up the St. Joseph Panthers 27-11, and then of course that 21-7 victory over the St. Peter's Knights. Now, we mentioned Sydenham starting the year 0-2. They've reeled off 7 straight victories, but for their opponents in the Crestwood Mustangs, it's been just a season of consistency. However, they have not had the best luck here at the National Capital Bowl. 6 appearances, only 1 victory, and they've lost their last 3 appearances here at the Rogers Center to last year St. Peter's, 37-22. St. Peter, though, as we said, no longer here thanks to the Sydenham Eagles, and we will have to see what is in store here this afternoon. The road to the championship for Crestwood. They defeated Felon Falls 24-20 and Belleville 16-10 before cruising past the Bear Creek Kodiaks 24-0. This is a team, they've been here before. They have not won, but they at least have the experience. It's very loud in here, and they will need to draw on that experience. For more on the game today, let's throw it up into the booth to our play-by-play team. Guys?
Thanks very much, Joe, and you can feel the excitement here at the Rogers Center, Brian, as we get set for a battle here with the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs and the Sydenham Golden Eagles, 2 of the best teams from the eastern side of Ontario.
Absolutely. Number one thing to do today is the execution. Both teams are coming out. It's a championship game. You got to execute the game plan so you can come out on top.
Hearing the national anthem in the background as we've got the Crestwood Mustangs coming in at 8-1, Sydenham Golden Eagles at 8-2. These 2 squads have done battle before. They know what it is to win. Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs, as Joe had outlined in the opening, that they've been here 4 times. They've lost it the last 3 times.
Absolutely. These guys kind of remind me of the Buffalo Bills back in the 90s, right? You don't want to come out here and lose the championship game 4 times in a row like the Bills did in the NFL. But hopefully that's not the case. I think the team might come out on top today, make a difference, and hopefully get their first championship.
Let's talk about the Sydenham Golden Eagles and Josh Thompson, the running back. He's had 16 carries for over 100 yards. And there's a good look at Josh Thompson right there. And he puts it all out on the line for Mike Love's Sydenham Golden Eagles.
Fantastic running back. He knows how to find his holes. He gets down into the between the gaps, and he can find his way to the end zone.
And Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs, we got Mackenzie Clarkson in the lineup. Here's a guy who's put it out on the line for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs, and you can't say enough about this guy.
And look at him right there. You can see he has this kind of Tom Brady-ish haircut, so he's feeling pretty good right now, right? Both running backs are stellar running backs. The key thing is to hold on to the football, because the last thing you want to do is create turnovers, because turnovers is what usually makes you lose the game.
If you're looking at any variables in this matchup, what are you looking for?
Right now I'm looking at the number one thing, because both teams are very good at executing. It's really going to come down to coaching and who comes out and executes the right place.
Let's go back downstairs to Joe Pogue. Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks very much, guys. Well, 320 students from the 920 that attend Sydenham High School here this afternoon. We'll have to see if that gives the Golden Eagles a bit of a boost. We'll have the kickoff coming up next from the Rogers Center. It's the 2010 National Capital Bowl here on Rogers TV.
Rogers TV, your local sports authority.
Come back to Rogers Center as we get set for the opening kickoff of the National Capital Bowl here from Rogers Center in Toronto. And Brian, we couldn't ask for better action between these two squads. Last year, the National Capital Bowl, in my opinion, was the most exciting game of the day.
And I remember last year. Last year was quite the game. I mean, you had two teams battling out, really wanting to come out, see who can be the better offense versus the better defense. But the number one thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to execute on all cylinders, special teams, offense, and defense.
Looking at the Sydenham Golden Eagles, and we highlighted Josh Thompson, but we also featured Jesse Bill, the 6'2", and a few stakes under 300 pounds, and as well the rookie defensive tackle Dylan LeBlanc. They'll be instrumental in shutting down Sydenham, shutting down Crestwood's run offense, that's for sure.
Big time. I mean, you got Jesse Bell at 6'1", 285 pounds defensive tackle. The kid's only in grade 11. I heard that when he goes to Mandarin, he cleans up the buffet, so he has a hard time getting through the door. But with that said, he's got to make sure he put pressure on the quarterback, because when you can get pressure on the quarterback, you can always disrupt the flow of the offense.
Here's the kick by Sydenham in the white as Peter Crestwood Mustangs in the red. They'll bring out the ball out to the 43-yard line. It'll be first down for the Crestwood Mustangs.
It's all about moving the ball forward right now. You can see they're a little bit nervous. He caught the ball. He dropped it on the ground. It's all right. Get the jitters out. It's all about making plays right now. Move the ball down the field. Get first downs. Get touchdowns.
Let's talk about the quarterback, Brian. Crestwood Mustangs as they got the ball. 1st and 10 at the 43.
You can see right now they're in cover 0 right now.
I formation, they're going to run the ball off tackle, and they'll get out to the 50-yard line on the play. And running a ball for Crestwood Mustangs, Mackenzie Clarkson, the 5'10", 190-pound running back. There's the starting offense right there with Dylan Kemp, the starting quarterback.
Yeah, and the key thing is they're moving the ball right now. They're moving the ball, running it hard. You can see the receiver. He comes into the frame, makes a huge block, and it's all about moving the ball, getting first downs. You can see they're still in a cover 0 package.
Dylan Bell, keep an eye on him defensively for the Sydenham Golden Eagles as again Crestwood Mustangs running the ball up the gut on the play.
Mustangs keeping it real simple, sticking to the running game. Get the jitters out right now. This is a big championship game. These guys, you know, you don't want to put the ball up in the air just yet, especially for these young guns, but look out for the ball to go down the field because it's all about making big plays on days like today.
Lots of action here at the Rogers Center. We see all the fans from Sydenham. They shut down the town. They've got over 8 buses here full of fans.
Yeah, a little bit too many buses. I had a hard time getting in, but I finally made my way in, and hopefully we got a good one right there.
Very interesting setup as they've got a double package and receivers coming out of the line. Crestwood Mustangs will take the ball out of bounds. That was a good reception by number 6, Ben Nandy, the 5'8", 160-pound receiver.
That was very good. You can see they kind of confused the defense there. They had him in a bunch formation on the small side of the field, and then they threw to the strong side right there. You see the receiver, he catches the ball, and he's pretty quick getting up that field right there. Ben Nanny's a very fast receiver at 5'8", 160 pounds. He's very quick, so keep your eye on him because he's the type of receiver that's very dangerous that at any moment he could break one to the house.
Fleet Brown on the tackle for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. It'll be first down and 20 on the 43. So first down and long. Crestwood Mustangs gonna run it up the gut. This is a good look. And looking wide open on the play. Looking to take it down to the Mackenzie Clarkson takes it down to the 13-yard line.
a huge play. That's exactly what I was talking about. Keep your hands on the ball. He took the ball, went down the field, made a monstrous play, and that's exactly what the Mustangs do. They run the ball down your throat, and the Eagles are going to really have to step it up and stop it right there. You can see right there, look at him right there. He sees has a good vision, going down the field, doesn't have the breakaway speed, but he definitely has enough yardage and puts him right now in the scoring zone.
Sleep Brown coming up with the tackle again as we take a look at the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs coaching staff, including Garth Scott and Shane Oldfield. In the pocket.
Oh!
And the ball was right there on the money.
It was on the money. It was a little bit too much heat for Josh Jones. He's only 5'5", 155, but as a wide receiver coming in, you got to be able to hang on to those balls. That's the difference between being a good player and being a great player. You got to handle that heat.
Dylan Kemp. Sydenham Golden Eagles trying to stuff this attempt by the Crestwood Mustangs. They're in the red zone.
They're in the red zone. They came out in the empty backfield, but now they came in.
They hand off the ball on the play for the Crestwood Mustangs as they bring it out to the 5-yard line. They've been to the big dance 4 different times, including the past 3 years, and they haven't taken away the hardware.
No,
could this be the year?
They have not. It kind of remind me of the Buffalo Bills back in the 90s. 4 times in the championship game, they went 0-4. Hopefully, they don't keep that tradition going. You want to break the curse, and hopefully this is the year.
Dylan Kemp running the offense for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. It's a tough league that they play out of. Kawartha Lakes Regions.
Good option by the coach right there. Looks like they're going for the field goal.
They'll set up on the field goal attempt.
Good call by the coach. As much as they're moving the ball forward, you want to get some points on the board, build some confidence for your team, start the game off with 3-0 lead.
And so 3-0 it is as we see the ball go through the uprights. The Crestwood Mustangs making things happen here at Rogers Center. Good look at the bench, Brian, and playing in a big game like this, the jitters are just overwhelming for both squads.
Well, absolutely. I mean, these kids are nervous like there's no tomorrow, but at the same time, they have to understand they have to come out and they have to execute and they have to stay focused. I mean, everyone's built differently. I would say a lot of these kids are nervous, but you have some calm, cool, collective ones. So a combination of both, that's what, at the end of the day, as long as you do your job, you're going to come out on top.
Sydenham Golden Eagles also playing in that tough Kingston area region.
Nice
Some
kick.
phenomenal football players as the ball goes down to the 5. Here's the run back for the Eagles. They get it out to the 30-yard line by being tackled by number 76, Josh Jones.
That's Josh Jones. At least he made up for that drop pass that he had earlier. Could have possibly taken that 5-yard into the end zone. He at least gets down the field, and the special teams making up for it on a nice special teams tackle.
Take a look at the starting quarterback for Sydenham Golden Eagles, which is Brett Irwin. Number 37 in the lineup, stands 5'10", 140 pounds. I'm sure he's working hard on the weights right now as the ball's brought out to the 35-yard line.
Well, watch out for Brent. He's a good quarterback. He's a smart quarterback, but he does have a little bit of an awkward release. One of the key things that they always looked at was his accuracy has not always been on point, but if you look at his technique, he's got to get better coached when it comes to his fundamentals with releasing the football.
Let's take a look at the defensive side for the Crestwood Mustangs, and they've got some good ones. And players like Brody Burkhoff, Mackenzie Clarkson at the linebacker position. Here's the run for the Golden Eagles as they bring the ball out to the 37-yard line.
Great job by the Mustangs defensive line, staying strong, making sure that the Golden Eagles are not able to move the ball down the field.
Josh Thompson, they pitch out and go right on the play. It ran into his own player in the process, Brian.
He did, and what he did was he caught the toss going to the weak side with a 3-receiver set, which is very tough to do because there's a lot of traffic over there.
Drake Westington, the defensive back on the play. Here's the kick for the Golden Eagles as
Nice
they bring
kick.
the ball out. to the 40-yard line of the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. The Mustangs on the run back will get minimal yardage. Let's go down to Joe Pogue on the sidelines. Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks very much, guys. Well, I spoke to the Crestwood coaching staff before the game. They said their ideal start would be to get a score right off the first play of the game. Well, you know what? That's exactly what's happened, and they told me that is exactly what has given them so much confidence throughout the season. We'll see how this progresses.
Look at the coaching staff along the sidelines. That's a very experienced coaching staff, and guys like Shane Oldfield, Steve Earle, Sebastian Menard, Dave Costello, Garth Scott. Brian, you know these fellas. You've seen them around before.
Oh, they're fantastic coaches. These coaches know how to play the game of football, and I'm telling you, oh, man.
That's Mackenzie Clarkson, 5'10", 190 pounds, going both ways as a running back and as a linebacker.
Mackenzie Clarkson, I mean, I think it might be the hair. He's got that Tom Brady-ish haircut, and if you got a haircut like that these days, I'm telling you, make plays, Dana. I think you should get a haircut like that, Dana.
I guess you either go one of two ways. You look like Brady or you look like Bieber.
Yeah.
There's the ball at the 45. It'll be first down and 10 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. They're going to run with three receivers coming off the line. Fake on the handoff. Out into the flat.
Ill-advised.
Pass attempt was picked off. The Sydenham Golden Eagles have got the ball.
Ill-advised throw from the whole entire time. The Eagles are all over their wide receivers. Not a good decision by the quarterback throwing that football when he should have easily kept it. Aaron Brown should have known better than to throw that football.
That was Nick Hope who came up with it. So it'll be first and 10 at the 45 for the Sydenham Golden Eagles as we look at the replay.
Huge interception right there. Good eye.
Number
Keeps his eye on the
43,
ball.
Brian, that was Hayden Peters, the strong safety on the play. Here we are on shotgun. 5 receivers coming off the line. Going to release for the pass. And they're going to run distance for the pass. It's going to go into the end zone. Sydenham Golden Eagles. Wow.
Wow. What a play. You want to talk about a big play? That's a big play. The Eagles came out. They said, look, you know what? You guys might have scored a point on us, but guess what? We're going to make some big plays, and that's exactly what they did.
Ben Fisher, the 5'11", 165-pound slot back, as he just gets beyond the corner on the play and comes up with a beautiful reception on a beautiful pass.
And he knows right away because as soon as the defender fell down, he knew it was a cover 0 and he was going to get into the end zone. And sure enough, he made a monstrous play to put his team up right now for the 7-3 score.
There's the kick through the uprights. 7-3 for the Sydenham Golden Eagles, and Brett Irwin had the ball right on the money.
Fantastic catch, fantastic throw by the quarterback, especially for not the best of mechanics, but at the same time, he was very accurate on this throw right here. And you can see he pump fakes to the left, throws it down the field. The receiver keeps his eye on the ball, makes an unbelievable catch with great hand-eye coordination. And he scores a touchdown, and look at that. Fantastic.
That was a 52-yard pass and catch, and run into the end zone with 4:29 left here in the first quarter of play.
We got a ball game on our hands here, Dana.
Wow. These teams are exciting, and we knew this was going to happen because last year, the National Capital Bowl, in my opinion, was the most exciting ball game. They're bringing it all back again this year.
It was a fantastic game, and it looks like we might have another one on our hands here. My question is this: I wonder what's going through the Mustangs' minds. The last thing you want, you got to think, Dana, that they've lost 3 times before, and there's a lot of guys thinking this cannot be 4 in a row. The stigma from their city, their stigma from friends and family. There's a lot of pressure. There's more pressure for the Mustangs to come through today and win this game than there is for the Golden Eagles.
Minimal yardage on the return. Special teams for Sydenham Golden Eagles stepping up big time. Let's take a look at the golden year for Sydenham.
And look at that right there. The first 2 games of the season, 0-2, but they won the next 7 in a row, right? 3 playoff wins in 1 week. And these guys are just coming out here and making plays. I mean, in order to get to the championship game, you got to be playing high-caliber football, especially at the end of the year, and that's exactly what they did, and that's why they're here today.
Brian, Steve Napton with the collarbone injury, and Brett Irwin has stepped into the limelight. And here he is at the Rogers Center, just taking it to a whole different level.
Absolutely, and that's what you got to be able to do. You got to be able to step in when your opportunity's there. When the door comes knocking, you got to be able to answer that door and come out there and be a playmaker. I mean, even though you might not be a starter, you still got to be able to come out there and be a playmaker and know that you can fill in and do the job just as well,
No
if
doubt.
not better.
Sydenham Golden Eagles of Mackenzie Clarkson's license plate number as they took him back big time. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 25 for Crestwood Mustangs. The Golden Eagles, they shut down the town to play here at the Rogers Center today. There's the pass, as we saw a seam pass, seam route, and the pass not coming to fruition.
Yeah, the inside wide receiver on the strong side did a quick little slant, but the quarterback threw the ball behind the wide receiver, and you got to be able to keep that in front. But at the same time, I felt like he choked it down just a little bit, so he never had his receiver get absolutely destroyed by the free safety.
Just looking at the alphabetical roster I have of the Sydenham Golden Eagles, as opposed to a numerical roster that we had requested. As we see a flag on the play and the ball goes to the 50-yard line. Here's the return for Sydenham. This is Kieran Doyle, as he plays both special teams and defensively for Mike Love's Sydenham Golden Eagles.
And Dana, that's what a lot of these top players do. You know, a lot of the top guys play special teams, offense and defense. When I was in high school, that's what you do with your top guys, because at the end of the day, you want your best players on the field all the time.
Carl Williams had a good shot at him. The noise and the thumping here at the Rogers Center, as we've got the West Humber Drumline here as well performing. They're from Toronto, do a phenomenal job with their drum line.
The drum line. You gotta always love the music. It always brings good atmosphere, good feelings, gets people psyched up, hyper for the game and during the game.
Thundersticks, that'll make a lot of noise. And it appears to be the momentum.
Now, is it true
going in Sydenham's way? Go ahead,
Is it true when people play on the band was because they couldn't make the football team? Is that true?
That could be the cliche, but not these days.
Okay.
That was of yesteryear, as the ball bounces on the 42 and it goes out of bounds. That was a very well-placed kick.
Beautiful.
Good look at Kieran Doyle as he jogs off the field. Good job for the Sydenham Golden Eagles, and no one expected this team to reach as far as they did.
No, absolutely not. But you know what? That's the thing. The whole time, the whole year, they played with a chip on their shoulder. Nobody believed that they can do it. Nobody believed that they can come out on top. And sure enough, they're here right now. When you play with a chip on your shoulder, you're always a better football player.
They walked in and played Jim Mick's Ottawa St. Peter's Knights at Minto Field. Heck of a job in the semifinal matchup. The ball to the 50, and going down on his own accord. I don't think he was tackled. He fell on his own.
Looks like he bumped into his own player, but a great misdirection run by the Eagles. They had a trips wide receiver set in the boundary, and sure enough, they have a good misdirection. The running back takes it up the field, and he just kind of loses a little bit of control, but great run by the Eagles.
Brett Irwin, only in grade 11. He's had to step up big time with Steve Napton's injury. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 54 of the Sydenham Golden Eagles. Officials are going to talk things over. Crestwood Mustangs and the Sydenham Golden Eagles here at the Rogers Center. For all the fans, if you want to check out more on the Ontario high school football circuit, go to ofsaa.on.ca/football, or you can check out rogerstv.com about airings, whether you're in the Ottawa region or any other region for Rogers across the province.
This is a big day for the players here, Dana. I mean, this is a championship game. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Guys have dreamed about this. There are a lot of players who played sports their whole entire lives have never been in this situation. And now they have an opportunity to win a championship. Very few and far between athletes get a chance for this. So you know they're going to be giving it all they got.
As you know, Brian, and first and 10 on the 54. Sydenham Golden Eagles running trips off the right side. They hand off. They're going to run it up the gut. They'll get about 3 or 4 yards on the carry, and Brian, that can really hurt a team if you get that amount of yardage on a first down all the time.
Absolutely. It's all about tiring out the defense. The more you move the ball down the field, especially in the running game, the defense gets very, very tired. And you can see the Golden Eagles, they like their type of offense is all about misdirection. They're doing a lot of misdirection and trying to throw off the defensive line, the DBs, and they're doing a good job moving the ball forward.
That was Josh Thompson, 6 foot, 175 pounds in his senior year with Sydenham. Now, the last time we saw Sydenham Golden Eagles was a long time ago, and they did the same thing. They came with upwards of 10 buses here to cheer on their Eagles at Rogers Center.
That was a big throw, but a tough throw. Anytime you're trying to throw it to the outside receiver on the strong side, especially when it's a down and out, that's a big, big throw. Quarterback has to have extremely strong arm and be very accurate because that can easily go back the other way, which we call a quick six. Remember the quick six, Dana?
We know the quick six, that's for sure. Looking at all the action that's happened in Eastern Ontario. Good look at the sidelines. Shane Oldfield, Gar Scott, company. Here's the punt. It'll go to the 20 of the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs, and on the return, they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. So it'll be first and 10 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs with 43 seconds left here in the first quarter of play.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Mustangs are going to come out with. They ran the ball a little bit. They had huge success with their running back McKenzie. Now they threw they threw an interception and a couple slants, but not much success in the passing game. I think they might go back to the run because that's been successful for them all year round.
Ben Nanny at 5'8", 160 pounds, big cog in the wheel for the Crestwood Mustangs. First and 10 from the 26. They're in shotgun. And the pass is good. They bring it out to the 35-yard line. In on the reception for the Jackson Zimmerman.
Good catch by the receiver, but the key thing is with these young receivers, you got to get down the field. I thought he fell a little bit short of the first down marker, but obviously he didn't. So good job by the receiver moving the ball down the field.
Got another drum line here in Rogers Center today, and that comes from Peterborough, courtesy of the Crestwood Mustangs drum line, and they're right behind the bench.
Gotta love that drum line.
They hand off. They're going to run up the A-gap on the play, and they'll bring it out to the 42-yard line.
They've been really leaning on the back of Clarkson McKenzie. Hopefully McKenzie has the stamina to stay through the game, Dana. One of the key things about these top players is, especially these championship games, you got to be able to have the stamina to last through the game because fourth quarter rolls around. You don't want to be slugging around.
Let's take a look at the first quarter highlight package, Brian, and certainly to say that the momentum is going in the way of the Sydenham Golden Eagles.
Well, they ran the ball all the way down the field with McKenzie. They ended up getting a field goal right there. Makes a huge throw. Look at that hand-eye coordination right away. He knows he scores a touchdown. So it's anybody's ball game still. Both teams are very hungry. They know they want to come out and prove themselves. They want to come out and do their job, execute the game plan, make your block.
Ben Fisher's put them up as the Golden Eagles have got a 4-point lead going into the second quarter of action. Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs running the ball up the A-gap. Josh Jones in the lineup for the Crestwood Mustangs, number 76 in the lineup, number 1 in your heart. If you're a Mustang fan, the ball will be placed on the 46. It'll be first down and 10. Dana McKeel alongside Brian Nugent, Joe Pogue, and a very hard-working production crew here at Rogers Center.
It's loud here at the Rogers Center. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen right here. You can see that, oh, dropped the ball.
Trying to get the ball off. No, too much pressure on the quarterback, and they just throw it away.
You can see the Eagles, they're hungry, they're ready. They want to come over here. They want this championship game. You can see that the fire is in them. Mustangs are really going to have to find a way and keep their head up, because right now these types of mistakes with the ball being dropped from the snap is not a way you're going to win a game of this magnitude.
Take a look at Aaron Brown. Brian, on the quarterback is Aaron Brown right now. Dylan Kemp, a step to the sidelines. Here's Brown as he airs it out, and there was no receiver within the vicinity.
No receiver in that vicinity. I think what happened was that was a blown play. Normally when you see a quarterback throw a ball like that, he's anticipating his receiver to be going in that direction. Receiver's going in a different direction, so somebody was not on the same page.
Fleet Brown defensively for the Sydenham Golden Eagles, and if I had a name Fleet, I'd be playing pro football by now.
Fleet feet.
10:25 here in the second
Dana,
quarter.
you run about a 4.2 in the 40, don't you?
It's down to 4 flat now.
4 flat.
There's the ball. It takes an odd bounce, and it goes down to the 20-yard line. That took a wicked bounce.
Very lucky there. Very, very lucky. It's a good thing the ball went out of bounds. He did touch the ball, so that could have been a terrible turnover. And usually the team that has the most turnovers is the team that loses the game. So you always want to win the turnover battle, because that's always a guaranteed way to win a football game.
That was Mason Leframbois, who is back for the Golden Eagles. He takes a jog onto the sidelines. So the ball will be placed at the 18-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Sydenham Golden Eagles.
Let's see what the Eagles are going to do. They like to do a lot of their misdirection, moving the ball down the field. Right now they got a trips. Oh.
Motion in the backfield as they set up for I formation. They'll hand off to the tailback on the play.
Good job by the D-line.
Josh Thompson on the carry. Minimal yardage, Brian. Let's look at the replay.
There it is, like that. Boom. You can see number 4 keeps his head in there. Brody Burkhoff, 6'1", 200-pound defensive lineman, make sure that he keeps his gap and the running back doesn't get outside.
You go like the way Brody Burkhoff has brought it all to the table for the Crestwood Mustangs, day in, day out.
No!
What a catch at the 50-yard line. And we have a battle for the ball in double coverage.
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
That was into double coverage.
Hold on.
What a reception. That was Ben Fisher, and he is just one outstanding wide receiver for the Golden Eagles. Amazing catch. You can see the running back never caught the handoff, but look at that into double coverage. Unbelievable. Look at this right here, Dana. On double coverage, jumps up, gets the ball at his highest point. You want to talk about somebody who wants the ball more? He wants it more. Back in double coverage, that was Tyler Lefley and Jason Zimmerman.
That might be the catch of the year.
Back for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. Wow, that was an outstanding catch, but they're bringing the ball back, Brian. Sydenham Golden Eagles suffering a penalty on the play.
Those ones just take the air out of a team. You can see they're probably going to go back against the same thing, but ill-advised throw. It's in triple coverage. To throw that ball right there and catch it like that, it was an extraordinary catch.
Ben Fisher into triple coverage. Jogging off the field, Rich Withy, the 5'9", 150-pound wide receiver.
And we got to keep our eyes on Ben Fisher. It's quite obvious. Ben Fisher's a playmaker. He's an absolute playmaker, making those types of catches. He's obviously a deadly threat. He's already scored the touchdown at the beginning of the game. 5'11", 165-pound back. Wide receiver. He's making fantastic plays.
Very flashy wide receiver for the Sydenham Golden Eagles as they get set for punt formation. Crestwood Mustangs as they run the back from the 52. Nowhere to go. Big tackle on the play.
Great
Sydenham
job.
Golden Eagles going to stop that one real fast, Brian, as Josh Jones stopped right there.
Great job though. The Eagles special teams doing a fantastic job getting down the field, making huge plays, making sure they're not letting the Mustangs getting any yardage. You can see he's trying to go outside, but they do a great job of keeping contained to force him inside and make a fantastic tackle.
Curtis Halliday in on the tackle for the Golden Eagles. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 42.
Mustangs, they're going to try to put some points on the board right now. I mean, especially you want to get at least a field goal out of this field position that you have right here.
They hand off, going to try and drive it up the gut and get it to the 40-yard line. Crestwood Mustangs looking to get the offense and the momentum going their way. We look at Aaron Brown. Now there's 2 Aaron Browns in high school football. One of them just graduated from Birchmount Park in Toronto. He is the 2nd-rated high school sprint star in the world. He came 2nd in the world championships a year ago. Took the scholarship to University of Southern California, so he's there on a dual-track football scholarship. Here's the other Aaron Brown at the helm for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs.
And he dropped it!
Jackson Zimmerman with the ball right in his fingertips.
Oh my goodness.
And he dropped the ball.
Those are the plays that I'm talking about there, Dana. You can't win a football game if you're dropping the ball like that. I've said it many times before. When you drop footballs and you're on offense, you end up being on the defense, being a defensive back. You can't, this is the difference between winning and losing. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That was a huge catastrophic drop.
He left Fleet Brown like a seal on an iceberg.
Can't afford those types of mistakes. I mean, that could have been the difference right there between winning and losing.
Here's the run back for the Golden Eagles.
Oh.
This is a long run for a short gain.
Ill-advised. Anytime your ball is deep in the end zone like that, you always should just take the point. Because now look where the Golden Eagles have to take the ball from the 2-yard line and try to march it down the field. They already have
Kieran Doyle for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. Let's go down to Joe Pogue on the sidelines. Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks very much, guys. In a school with only 920 students, over a third of them made the trek down to the Rogers Center today. Almost 350 students, 8 buses came down to support the Sydenham Golden Eagles. It seems to be working so far, and if they can ride this momentum through, the coaching staff said they hope it might be enough to bring them all the way home.
Joe, you blend in so well with the cheerleading squad behind him, and wow, you're gonna have to wear red and yellow if you're gonna stand in that section. Holy mackerel. The support is huge. Here's the ball on the 20 as they tried to drive the ball.
Oh man, what a drop. What a drop. You gotta catch those types of plays. Such an unfortunate thing to happen. They could easily been up in the game going into the half, potentially at a 10-7 lead, but
Archie Anderson in the lineup defensively for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. That was Jackson Zimmerman as he picks up on man coverage. So coverage is huge defensively for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. This is Brett Irwin as he gets chased out of the pocket. He's going to take it himself and the quarterback keeper, and he almost gets to the 30-yard line. That was a 2nd and 8 situation for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. It's a 3rd and short now.
Golden Eagles trying to get a first down, hopefully move the ball down the field. I would not be surprised if they try to take a shot down the field during this series and see if the wide receiver can make a play. I mean, we've already seen Ben Fisher, the 5'11", 165-pound slot back, made 2 huge, tremendous catches.
4:57 and counting here in the half. Sydenham Golden Eagles leading by 4. And they want to talk things over, Brian.
You got to talk things over. Right now, the coach is like, look, guys, we got 4 minutes and 55 seconds into this game. We got to make sure that these guys do not get into good field position to even muster off a field goal. So let's just hold them down right now, get the ball back into our offense's hands so we can get some points on the board, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal.
Brian, we saw some excellent games played earlier here today. Superior Heights from Sault Ste. Marie took out Thunder Bay Westgate 17-7. And what was a highly billed affair in the Golden Horseshoe Bowl, Burlington Notre Dame came out on top over Lakeshore Catholic Gators in a rematch from last year. Actually, it was the rubber match because both teams have played for the past 3 years in that bowl game. And the Fighting Irish came out on top by 2 with a 16-14 victory.
Definitely some exciting football. It's a fantastic facility to have all these championship games at this beautiful Rogers Center.
And that ball bounces at the 46-yard line. Very well and very strategically placed punt by the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Golden Eagles.
Well, they're good job at kicking the ball. Very good at placing the ball. The punting's actually been relatively good from both ends of squads. Both teams have been kicking the ball relatively good, giving their team the best advantage to put the other team in a disadvantage for field position. So when it comes to the punting aspect of the game, both teams have been scoring pretty high.
Looking at offensive linemen like Matt McGee at 6'3", 260 pounds. He will lead the offense. Single back for the Crestwood Mustangs. Aaron Brown hands off. They'll go off tackle on the play. Sydenham Golden Eagles are going to stop that one real fast.
They definitely want to make a stop, especially on the running game. You can see the Mustangs love to run the ball. They're very good at running the football, so the Golden Eagles know that their defensive front has to make sure that they stop them from moving the ball down the field, because they do know that their bread and butter is the running game. But at the same time, they will take shots time to time like they did earlier to try to score touchdowns.
Josh Dumaresque, the linebacker, coming up on the play to assist on the tackle. 2nd and 9 from the 47. Here's Brown in shotgun. 4 receivers coming off the line. Brown unleashes with the pass.
Good defensive play by the corner, coming over, breaking up the ball. That was a fantastic play. He read it really well. It was actually a half-decent ball by the quarterback, but what happened was the quarterback kept his eyes too long on the receiver, and actually it looked like it hit the receiver off. Looks like it hit Aaron Brown. Like he had a chance to catch it, but it was a tough catch nonetheless if he was going to.
Dylan Kemp has stepped back into the lineup for the Crestwood Mustangs. Brown was the intended receiver as they continue to rotate the quarterbacks. That punt was almost blocked as it bounces on the 34.
It was.
Here's the return.
The Eagles have been, if you watch closely, the Eagles, nice hit. The Eagles have been trying to go for the block each time. Do not be surprised if the Eagles pull off a block, because every time that the Mustangs have had to kick the ball, they've always sent somebody to go try to block the kick, and they're getting pretty close.
That was Mason Leframbois on the return. The ball will be on the 43. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Golden Eagles. Field position is so important in this matchup between these two squads, Brian.
Field position is important in this matchup. Field position is important in any matchup in football, because all you always want to do is keep your team outside of scoring position. I mean, because a team doesn't score a touchdown doesn't mean they can't get a field goal. So you really have to make sure you manipulate them away from a scoring opportunity.
Look to hand off on the play as they run counter, and they'll get minimal yardage. As a matter of fact, I think they have a loss on the play. That was Josh Thompson on the carry. Yeah, no doubt, Brian, there was a loss on that play, or they brought it back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 43.
Yep, no gain. No gain. There's only 2:42 left going down. I mean, I'm sure they want to get the ball at least to the 35-yard line. you know, give themselves for a long-distance field goal. I mean, the closer they can get in, the better. But look out for the Golden Eagles. Take a shot down the field.
Going to take off outside the pocket. This is Irwin. Look out!
Just ragdolled. You want to talk about sending a message? That's the message right there. The big boy just ragdolls him, throws him down on the ground like nobody's business. I felt
like chewing a bone.
Oh my goodness.
Brett Irwin.
Look at
Look
that
at two
right
ways
there.
for Sunday on the play.
Look at the big boy throw him down. That's a big play right there. That is a monstrous play.
Mike Love and the Sydenham Golden Eagles on the sidelines. Boy, they come here to play. And there's a kick out to center. This is the return by Tyler Leffley.
Not a really good kick, putting the Mustangs back into potential scoring position. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm sure Mustangs are going to take a couple shots down the field, at least get into field goal range, and try to put some points up on the board, at least go into the halftime to be 7-6.
This is a very quick football game as we're now down to the 2:02 mark here in the half. 7-3 in favor of the Sydenham Golden Eagles here at Rogers Centre in Toronto. The ball will be on the 35. It'll be 3rd and 18 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. And when you're talking about field position, Brian, you're also talking about special teams. They've got to come up big time.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 facets of winning a football game: offense, defense, and special teams. And special teams is just as critical as those other 2. So you got to make sure you're in good field position. You can see right now the Mustangs are in a bunch formation down on the boundary side of the field, the small side.
Looking for the pass, and what a catch! Jackson Zimmerman.
What a catch! That's a big catch. That's a big play. He had dropped one earlier, and he answered the bell, and that's what you want from your player. You know, sometimes when you drop a football, the quarterback might not come back to you, but sure enough, the quarterback came back to him, and look at the quarterback throws a beautiful ball. He goes up, turns his body, makes a fantastic catch, and at least if they don't even score, they're in field goal range and bring the score back to 7-6, but you definitely know they're going for a touchdown. They're going bunch formation on both sides, the strong side and the short side.
23-yard pass and catch. Here's Kemp with the pass outside. It's caught. Aaron Brown with the ball, and he gets it out of bounds. It appears to be at the 8-yard line.
Now, the Mustangs have been in scoring position before, and they weren't able to capitalize. They had a big drop by their wide receiver coming across. So you want to make sure that they're going to try to go take a shot in the end zone. And you can see the coach coming out onto the field right now. The coach saying, "Hey guys, come here now. Okay, we got to get in this end zone. We want to be up before we go." And you see the coach from the Golden Eagles also now, right, talking to his players, saying, "Look, this is the play we're going to run. This is what we worked on all week. We're going to go with our bread and butter."
2nd and 6 on the 8. Brian, if you're the head coach of the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs, what are you telling the troops?
Right now, I'm telling the troops, "Hey guys, right now we're down, but if we can score this touchdown, we can go up. All right, we need to go out there and we need to execute exactly the same plays that we've been running all year long that have been successful for us. If you do your job, okay, we're going to make this play, okay? Make sure, do your job, hit him in the mouth, make a play, and let's go into the half with the lead."
A couple of other games on tap as we continue the schedule here at Rogers Centre, including the Windsor Herman Green Griffins against Brantford Assumption College Lions. That will be for the Western Bowl, and that'll be followed up with the nightcap of them all, the 29th Metro Bowl, featuring the Holy Trinity Titans and the King City Lions, 2 squads that have never played in a Metro Bowl before.
They're in the same formation right now, the bunch formation, but now the 2 running backs came in. They're probably going to run it, and as they are right there, and sure enough, Golden Eagles read it.
Sydenham Golden Eagles stopped that one. That was Mackenzie Clarkson on the run. Coming up was Josh Dumaresque. That was the linebacker coming up on the play to stop Mackenzie Clarkson. It'll be 3rd down and 4 with the ball on the 6.
I think it's a good time to kick the field goal. Don't try to score a touchdown when you've been unsuccessful in the last couple of times and right now you're down. Go into the half being 7-6. Don't worry about trying to be up right now. You got a whole second half to prove yourself. Get some points on the board just like you did in the beginning of the game.
Well, Dylan Kemp wants to talk things over with the coaching staff. Tough situation. There he is on the sidelines talking to the coaching staff, including Garth Scott and Shane Oldfield. These guys have been around the circuit before. They've appeared in the past 4 National Capital Bowl games here at the Rogers Center, losing the past 3, and you compared it to the Buffalo Bills back when Marv Levy was the head coach.
Absolutely. The Bills won the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, losing twice to the Cowboys, once to the Giants, and once to the Redskins. And I mean, this is like the exact same scenario if they lose today 4 times in a row. So you know they got a lot of pressure on their shoulders to not go home and be a 4-time loser because, boy, you lose once, it's bad. You lose twice, it's really bad. You lose 3 times, you really don't want to show your face back in the city. You lose 4 times, it's time to move.
I certainly don't want to release Garth Scott and Shane Oldfield like they did Marv Levy, but I'm sure they don't have to deal with Ralph Wilson either.
Exactly. And what happened? But what happened to the Bills when they lost? They released Marv Levy. The Bills have never been the same. I always say I'd rather have a coach take me to the championship game every year than a coach who you don't know if they're going to take you to the championship game. You can never take for granted getting to the championship game.
I've never seen coaches jog on and off the field so much as I have in the past couple of minutes.
I'm trying to figure that out too, Dana. I don't know. Are they playing tag or what?
I think they've logged more yardage in this ball game so far than any player on the field. 1:11 left in the half. 7-3 in favor of the Sydenham Golden Eagles. 3rd and 4. Ball on the 6. Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs looking to move ahead.
Is there 12 men on the field or 13 men on the field?
Yeah, well, we wonder sometimes. Single back. Here's Aaron Brown as he rolls out of the pocket. He's looking for the pass. He's going to go deep into the end zone. That's just not going to happen, Brian.
No, it's not going to happen.
They gambled and they lost on that one.
And that's how you lose another championship game. You got to take the points when you can get them, especially when you haven't been successful prior to when they try to score earlier. I understand you want to make a gutsy call and give the team confidence, but right now, guess what? You're down more points when you can kick the field goal and only been down by 1.
Ben Nanny was the intended target. So Sydenham Golden Eagles will take the ball on their own 6-yard line with 1:03 left here in the half. And there's a good look at Ben Nanny comparing notes with the coaching staff.
And they were all over it. The DBs were all over it from the Golden Eagles. They tried to fake the run and they bootlegged right, and the receiver came in and did a little slant corner, but they was not successful.
Sydenham Golden Eagles looking to run the ball out to the 10-yard line. That was Josh Thompson on the play. Really like to add up the amount of yardage he's put out over the course of this season. I'm sure it's enough to pave a sidewalk from Toronto to Sydenham, Ontario.
Absolutely, he's been fantastic running back. He's been making plays all year long. The team's leaned on his shoulders. He's come out game in and game out, making plays, and that's exactly, he's a huge component why they're here right now, playing in this championship game.
Mackenzie Clarkson, a linebacker, up on that last play. Golden Eagles looking to throw outside. They get it at the 10-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain on the play. And that was Rich Withy, a 5'9", 150-pound receiver, senior player in the lineup for the Golden Eagles.
5'9", 150.
So it'll be 3rd and 1 with the ball on the 15.
I think he needs to get in that line there at the Mandarin. Dana, 5'9", 150. You're going to have to start eating up and get in that weight room. Get in the line.
Maybe add a little bit of creatine there. As my friend Ben Johnson used to say, creatine, man, it's all about creatine.
Creatine, or is it cheetah? Cheetah all the time.
Cheetah all the time as well. Telling you, talking to Ben the other day, he was going to come down here to cheer on the squads. He loves football. There's the
nice kick.
comes out to midfield. Here's the return. This is Ben Nanny, and he stops short at the 50-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs.
And good job by the Eagles. They're very good at containing the returner. On the return, you can see him that he's trying to get outside, but they do such a good job of staying in their lanes. It's very tough to get upfield when you have guys staying in their lanes. Right there, you can see he looks outside, but he realized he can't get outside. He's got to cut it back up inside, and the lanes are just closed down real easy. Fantastic coverage by the Eagles special teams.
There's Miles Frazier in on special teams, assisting on the tackle. So it'll be 22 seconds left on the clock here in the first half.
I'm sure they're going to take a shot, throw the ball down the field, or they're going to throw a screen little pass that they have done before in this formation.
Here's Dylan Kemp. He had a wide open opportunity to take it himself. He's going to go long distance. And that went into double coverage, just not going to work.
No, it's not going to work. They've done a lot of plays out of that formation. Bunch to the strong side, bunch to the weak side. They've had the two receivers come back inside where they've ran out of it. They've thrown screens. He was thinking about running up the field, but then they threw the ball and unsuccessfully.
Josh Jones, the intended receiver. The ball will be back on the 50. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs with 14 seconds left here in the half. The fans are so excited about being here in Rogers Center and watching their teams unfold for this National Capital Bowl Championship. Dylan Kemp. There's a bullet, and it was almost on the money.
It was, and he kept the ball low. I don't know if he kept it low to protect his receiver from getting blown up from the free safety. Otherwise, it was pretty close, but close ain't good enough. Close only works in hotter. How does that go? Lottery tickets and hand grenades?
Ben Nanny was the intended target.
You could see it was a tough catch. He dropped it. It was there, but got to make those tiny type of tough catches. Not every catch is going to be right between your numbers. In a perfect world, every receiver would want that, but to be a really good receiver, you got to make the tough catch on a consistent basis.
And that's the consistency. That's the key right there, Brian. It's called consistency. Nanny in motion in the backfield. It appears to be a time count violation, and that's exactly what it is against the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs with 7 seconds left here in the half. Very concerned coaching staff with the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. Not too happy about that call. And special teams are going to come up with 3rd down and 20 on the 50. 7-3 in favor of the Golden Eagles over the Mustangs.
7-3, what a game. I mean, they started off with the guns firing. And right now it's a little bit been a defensive front by both squads, even though the Mustangs had opportunity to score on 2 occasions. They have not been able to capitalize in the red zone. They're 0-2 in the red zone.
That's a high kick, and it goes to the 30-yard line. It's well placed. We have flags on the field.
Oh!
And here's the run back for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. This is a very strong run back, going long distance before Mackenzie Clarkson comes up with the tackle.
Yeah, Mackenzie just has too much speed. You can see, even though try to get to the outside.
Mason Leframbois.
Yeah, he tried to get to the outside. Mason tried to get to the outside, but Mackenzie's a very good, talented. Not only is he on offense, he's also on special teams, and he makes a critical tackle to save for a potential touchdown.
5'9", 155 pounds, dripping wet.
And that's dripping wet, that's for sure. These guys need to get up in that Mandarin, getting some food.
That's halftime.
So they're going to wrap up everything right here on that play, Brian, and that'll end the half. 7-3 in favor of the Sydenham Golden Eagles over the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. Let's go down to Joe Poga on the sidelines. Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks very much, guys. Coach, good start to the game with the field goal. If you could do it again, would you have maybe tried later on in the second half to go for field goal as opposed to the touchdown?
Well, you know, we've actually all year long seemed to accept the field goals. Our kicker has over 20 in the season, and we felt, you know, at that time we wanted to be aggressive. We thought even if we don't get it, we're only down by 4, and we've got a whole half to go. And we thought if we did get it, obviously we'd be ahead of the game, and we'd be up going into the half. So, you know, second guess maybe we should have, but we've done that many times this year, and we've decided to take a chance in this game.
Right now, with the game so close, obviously with history the way it is it safe to say, though, that your team still very relaxed and very focused?
I think so. You know, we've in the last several bowl games we've been in, we played poorly in one of the halves. I don't think we played poorly in that half. We failed to execute on a couple of plays, but for the most part, I think we played quite well. So, second half, I'm looking forward to a good half, and hopefully we can execute.
Well, thank you very much for this, Coach. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
The Sydenham Golden Eagles, halfway home, they lead at halftime, 7-3. Stay with us. You're watching the 2010 National Capital Bowl on Rogers TV.
Rogers TV, your local sports authority.
And welcome back to Rogers Center as the Sydenham Golden Eagles have a 7-3 lead over the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. We're here at the half. And Brian, your thoughts on that first half of play?
Well, I mean, it started off with exciting football. I mean, both teams came firing out, but unfortunately the Mustangs, they couldn't capitalize. They were in the red zone twice, and they couldn't make the plays when they had to.
Let's take a look at the highlight package from the first half, highlighting Mackenzie Clarkson, the running back for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. Here he is in action.
And there's Mackenzie right there. I mean, big-time players make big-time plays, and there he is getting down the field, and they got into scoring opportunities. He's a fantastic player. He has a good vision. He also made a couple special teams tackles and moving the ball forward. He's a downhill running back, and you got to keep your eyes out on him because he knows how to find the hole and get down the field. He was really, really tough, hard-nosed running back.
I think the Bear Creek team really wants to get that game back as well because he destroyed them in that semifinal matchup leading to the National Capital Bowl here today.
Well, they would love to get the ball, get that matchup back, but unfortunately they didn't. That's why they're not here right now. So we got two teams that are trying to prove themselves, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top on this low-scoring affair, 7-3. I expect both teams to come firing off.
Let's take a look at Luke Elson, who played in the lineup. Big number 90 in the lineup. There he is right there, 6'6", 300 pounds plus. He's a big cog in the wheel for the Crestwood
He's
Mustangs.
a big guy. He's making big plays, and you can see right there he has a huge penetration, and you can see how he likes to roughhouse these guys. He threw down the quarterback like he was a rag doll, you know, so
I would
keep
not
your eyes
want
on
to be
him.
in any buffet table with Luke, that's for sure.
No, because if you eat his food, he's going to throw you down like a rag doll too.
Let's talk about Ben Nanny, a fantastic wide receiver, and we've got a package for him as well. Nanny, a really, really outstanding player as we take a look at the highlight package.
For sure. Good receiver. He made huge plays. He has good hand-eye coordination, and you can see that when he went up for the football, right? Look right there. He makes a huge catch right there over the defender, and he knows right away it was a cover zero, scores a touchdown, puts the team up.
The Sydenham Golden Eagles connecting on that play, and here we go as we see the Golden Eagles, or the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs, almost making the catch. Brian, as we go into the second half of action, what do you advise the troops? They're in the dressing room, and I know that the first 5 minutes of the second half are going to be so pivotal.
Stay calm, right? It's a championship game. We know everybody's out here. The fans are here. People are making a lot of noise. Stay calm. Do your job, okay? And believe in yourselves and believe in each other, and you will come out on top.
7-3 in favor of the Sydenham Golden Eagles as we enter second half of action. We'll be back with more of the National Capital Bowl right after this.
Rogers TV, your local sports authority.
Welcome back to the Rogers Center. 7-3, the Sydenham Golden Eagles lead as we get set for the second half. Here it's the National Capital Bowl on Rogers TV. I spoke to head coach of the Sydenham Golden Eagles, Shane Oldfield, during halftime. He told me Well, his defense has played very well. He would like to see a little bit more out of his offense, especially his quarterback when it came to throwing downfield. He feels there has not been enough pressure applied to the defense, and in order for them to continue playing and continue leading this game, he's going to need to see more out of his offense. For the call of the second half, let's throw it up into the booth. Guys?
Thanks very much, Joe. As we watch the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs coming out on the field, they've got a deficit of a 7-3 lead for the Sydenham Golden Eagles to deal with. And Brian, we're looking at the stats at halftime and looking at the rushing numbers right now. Mackenzie Clarkson coming in at 9 carries for 91 yards. Josh Thompson, 8 for 32.
Yeah, I mean, you see Mackenzie's making some plays. He's averaging almost 10 yards, over 10 yards per carry. And Josh Thompson's not doing too bad. I mean, that's 4 yards per carry, but at the same time, the Eagles are on top because they've made that monstrous play. So it's really just coming down the difference between the big play and who hasn't had one. Ben
Fisher with the 65-yard TD for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. Looking at the overall rushing numbers, Crestwood leading 103-39. Looking at net offense, Crestwood is leading 154-102, but yet it's the Golden Eagles who are on top right now as we kick off second half of play. Here are the Golden Eagles as they bring the ball back.
And that's the thing, Dana. It's all about one play. That's all it takes in football. That's the difference between winning and losing, one big play.
The Golden Eagles will bring the ball out just over the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Sydenham. Here's a look at the replay, Brian.
There he is trying to take the ball. He's just waiting for his block, waiting for his blocks, hits upfield, gets some good yardage after contact. So that was a good return. Brings the ball up to the 33-yard line.
Quarterback, Brent Irwin. Young quarterback at that. Grade 11, here he is in shotgun. They set up for the handoff. They'll drive it right up the gut, and they'll get about 4 yards on the carry. That was good acceleration going through that gap, Brian.
It was absolutely fantastic acceleration. And as a running back, that's the type of qualities you need. You have to have good vision, and you got to be able to bust through that hole. And that's exactly what you did. You know, if you can get over 4 yards per carry, boom, right there. You can see it gets right up through the gut. None of this, you know, east to west stuff. It's just north and south.
Josh Thompson. Sydenham Golden Eagles. He can't walk down the hallway without high-fiving everyone. The pass outside is caught. They bring it out to the 50-yard line, and there's a fumble on the play, but does Sydenham recover? They do.
Great job. Good block. Open up the receiver. Get him down the field.
That was Ollie Moisey with the reception, the 6'3", 165-pound receiver. Big catch for the Sydenham Golden Eagles as we look at the replay, Brian.
Yeah, you can see he gets down the field. You got to hold on to that ball as a receiver. He's lucky he's got the ball back right there because they could have easily had it. But good job getting the first down and setting the tone for the second half.
1st and 10 from the 51. They'll bring the ball out to center.
I'm surprised he even got that many yards on that run right there. He actually got hit quite a bit. He's supposed to have been down about 3 yards before that, but talk about a running back that can take a lot of hits. Look at it right here. Watch how much contact he gets right there. Boom, 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 boom. But he's still chugging away. Very impressive run. Wasn't much yardage, but that shows somebody who had desire.
Brian, you talk like a true defensive lineman or linebacker. There's the pass, and it was right at his fingertips, and he couldn't pull it in.
These drops are just killing these teams. You can't be making these types of drops in these championship games. Look here, son, you got to take your hands off your hips and start figuring out how to make a play. That's not how you're going to play at the next level, at the CIS level. I know a lot of scouts are here right now. York University's here. Western Mustangs are here. Laurier's here. A lot of teams from the OUA here. You can't be dropping the ball like that and expect to be getting onto a roster at the next level.
Yeah, exactly. The wrong time to be dropping the ball with all the eyes on you. This is make or break time for many of the players. Here's Sydenham on the punt. That's a high kick that bounces at the 32. Here's the run back. Zimmerman with the ball. And he's taken down. In on the tackle Special teams. And Brian, that was Miles Frazier for the Golden Eagles.
And the Eagles' coverage team has been absolutely stellar today. They have really not given the Mustangs an opportunity to get that ball down the field. And Mustangs has been half decent when it comes to the return game, but they're a really good job in their lane coverage. The Eagles doing a stellar job of shutting them down on special teams.
Peterborough. Crestwood Mustangs looking to break it open. This is a run by Mackenzie Clarkson. And he gets it to the 40-yard line of the Sydenham Golden Eagles.
Mackenzie Clark, I'm telling you, it's that Tom Brady haircut. You either look like Brady or Bieber, and he said, I want to look like Brady. And look at that run there, and look at this cutback right here. Look at the vision. He has enough awareness knowing that he's going to get flow from the opposite side, and he gets down the field with his pants coming off. He says, I don't care, I'm going to keep on going. And sure enough, he makes a huge play. Definitely putting him over 100 yards today.
Mason Laframboise on the tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 39 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. For Crestwood, Aaron Brown at the helm. Adjustment in the backfield. They're going to run with a crossbar. They get it out to the 20-yard line as again, Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs jacking it up a notch.
Good job by Mustangs. Mustangs, they've changed it looks like their blocking scheme, trying to create more lanes because the Golden Eagles was not allowing these types of big runs coming out into the second half. But in the first half, they really had shut them down other than that big run by McKenzie. But Mustangs is really finding ways to get the ball down the field and opening up gaps against the Eagles' defensive line.
1st and 10 from the 20. They hand off. They're going to drive it right up the middle.
Oh!
Mackenzie Clarkson, and he'll get the ball to the 10. They're getting some good yardage on every carry, Brian.
He's running like a madman. My goodness. You want to talk about a kid who's hungry, who has something to prove? Look at him. He's like absolutely exhausted. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's like, you know what? We are 0-4 if we don't win today. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of not going home without a championship. We're going home with one. And you want to talk about somebody who's looking like the MVP? That's him right there, Dana.
1st and 10 from the 10. Crestwood Mustangs. A lot of momentum coming with them right now. They hand off. They're going to go with what's been successful, and that's Mackenzie Clarkson as he brings the ball down to the 3.
That's McKenzie again. You see his hands on his hip. This kid he's so exhausted, but he's like, Coach, just give me the ball. We are not going home 0-4. If I have to take this team on my back, I will. Is his name Atlas? Is his name Atlas? Is it Mackenzie Atlas?
I thought I saw Charles Atlas out there on the stands just now as we see Hayden Peters on the tackle for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. This is 2nd and 3 with the ball on the 3.
I would not be surprised if it's going to be a run right now.
Crestwood Mustangs.
Sure enough, it's a run and a
Clarkson,
touchdown.
Touchdown! Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs.
My goodness.
Mackenzie Clarkson.
Mackenzie Atlas Clarkson just taking this team on his back. Wow. You want to talk about a player who's digging deep, who has the desire to win. You know he's exhausted. The coach knows he's tired, but he's like, Coach, give me the rock. And sure enough, he goes out there and makes a huge play and puts his team up on top.
Mackenzie Clarkson taking it to the house for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. Here's the convert. Goes through the uprights.
Talk about a team coming out with guns blazing. My goodness. The Mustangs are just out here on fire right now. I think the Eagles are really going to have to step up their game, and they're not going to just rely on that one touchdown that they had in the first half.
No question about it, Brian, that the momentum is going in the favor of the Crestwood Mustangs.
You trying to say
right
momentum?
Trying to, and all I got to say is Mackenzie Clarkson. When I say that, here he goes through the line.
There you go. He had multiple carries. He pretty much took the whole entire team all the way up there, and that's his touchdown with a combination of great blocking by the offensive line. His hands are on his hips, and you know they're going to lean on him some more because he also plays on special teams, and he's also on defense.
Well, you look at guys like Archie Anderson and Luke Elger. I mean, these guys are putting it out. Doing a great job out there on the offensive line.
Well, Dana, they don't want to go home like the Buffalo Bills. That's for sure.
Pardon me, Luke Elson out there on the offensive line. A big boy out there. Great run back. And the ball comes out over center for the Sydenham Golden Eagles, and they're getting some great field position here just based on that carry. Miles Frazier on the run back.
What a turn of events. My goodness. Golden Eagles said, hey, you want to score a touchdown? We got a little trick of our own. Pounding that ball down the field. Great blocks by the special teams, making a huge run back. This fantastic run by Miles Frazier.
5:23 and counting here in the third quarter. 10-7 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs, leading the Sydenham Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles faltered on that run up the gap. That was Josh Thompson. 5:05 and counting.
This game got a little bit more exciting. Both teams they got something to prove. This is a championship game. There's nothing left until next year. You got to leave it out all on the table, and this is what both teams are doing. Both coaches got them psyched up, saying, hey, guys, this is it. We're in the Rogers Center. This is the big city, the T.O. What do you got? What are you made of?
Looking to throw it outside.
Uh-oh. Oh, dropped it.
That's into man coverage on the play, and it's just not going to work, Brian. That was to Ollie Moisey, the 6'3 receiver.
You got to hold on to those balls. I mean, 6'3", 165 pounds, that's a tall kid. That ball came right in the breadbasket, and that's what's been killing the Eagles. Mustangs had a couple drops, but the Eagles have had some big, big drops that have really been costly.
Sydenham Golden Eagles on the sidelines. Very concerned coaching staff. They're down by 3. Golden Eagles are going to carry the ball, and they're going to run it for a first down to the 25-yard line.
Oh, what a call.
We haven't seen anything yet. This is just warming up.
What a call, my goodness. You can see he's fired up right there. Nice call. Coach says, hey, if you see it, take it. And sure enough, he took it. Finds the hole, gets down the field, gets the first down. You want to talk about two teams right now making plays. Wow, what a half.
With a 35-yard run, and that brings it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 here in the third quarter. Single back. Got 5 receivers coming off the line. Throw it in the flat. And going out on his own accord as the Golden Eagles get about 3 yards on that reception.
That's Ollie Mosley with the catch. He got about 4 yards, lost his footing, but he's got to be able to keep his feet up so he can get down the field and get more yardage. But we got a player down, looks like.
Yeah, we do have a player down on the field, Brian, for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. That's Nick Hope. And he's holding on to, it appears to be his calf on the left side. Sydenham Golden Eagles.
Wonder what could have happened. Usually a calf injury is related to spasms. We don't know if he's spasming, but typically if you have a calf injury and you're spasming, you're lying on your back. It'll be interesting to see what really happened. He probably got stepped on.
The ball's on the 22-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Sydenham Golden Eagles.
Doesn't look like a knee.
Appears to be more of a calf. Maybe he strained it. So we took a look at the leg even more.
Yeah, you can see they're
good camera
touching
angle.
The lower part of his calves there.
Brian, little
there's Achilles.
Notes for our viewers. Before we get to those notes, let's go down to Joe Pogue on the sidelines. Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks very much, guys. Standing by with Frank Estesi, head recruiter at McMaster University. Frank, plenty of pressure this weekend. What do scouts look for in games like these?
Well, first of all, it's amazing to have so much talent under one roof in the ideal conditions and playing on the turf. So it's great to have this much talent. But really, recruiters more than anything, academics is number one. Has to be number one. You could have great football players, but they have to have the academics to get into the various schools that they might be looking at. Number two, the game's really moved to speed. So we're looking for speed, we're looking for quickness, and guys who can generally run. There's a difference between being a football player and being an athlete. And I think most recruiters nowadays, we're looking for the overall athletes.
Now, when students are recruited, how different is the life in university as opposed to high school?
Well, it's a huge difference. Number one, in high school, they're still taking attendance and all that kind of stuff. But you get into university, there's a lot more freedom, there's a lot more flexibility, and it takes a lot of personal discipline to make sure you're going to class, getting your work done. When you first come in, it seems like you've got a lot of time on your hands, but you have to be able to manage your time well. And time management is a huge part of getting through university. Never mind playing football on top of that, which can consume about 4 hours a day.
Now you speak about time management. How time consuming is it for you and other scouts to go around to these games and look at players to build your teams?
Well, it is time consuming, but it's well worth it. I mean, that's what we do. We got to get out there and see if we can attract some of the brightest student athletes that are out there. So it is time consuming, but again, I mentioned that, you get 10 quality football teams like this all on the same day. This is a real time saver.
Well, thank you very much for this, and we'll let you go back and enjoy the games, and best of luck next year.
Thank you.
Guys?
Joe, thanks very much. Frank Estesi has been around the scouting circles for McMaster University for quite a long time and knows exactly what to do and how to approach recruiting for a university team like the McMaster Marauders and head coach Stefan Potasic.
Well, Frank's one of the best in the business, Dana. Here's a guy that he understands that all the talent's in this building right now. These are championship games, and so obviously you have the best players from around the province in one building. So this is heaven for a scout. This is absolute heaven to have this much talent in one facility. It's a fantastic place to be. So
interesting note, Frank is always the first one in the building when it comes to scouting out talent. Sydenham Golden Eagles set up for a field goal attempt. The ball being put through the uprights from the 30. They connect. We're tied at 10.
We are tied at 10, and this is going to be quite the ball game. I mean, these two teams came out into this third quarter wanting something to prove. I would believe there's more pressure on the Mustangs because they're 0-3, and the Eagles right now, they're feeling pretty good. They got some points on the board, so they're going to have to come out, and this game is going to be very interesting to see who wants it more. It's really going to be a battle of who wants it more because they've been fairly matched throughout the game, Dana, especially on special teams and moving the ball offensively, dropping the ball. They've also been fairly matched. There's been a whole lot of drops. So
Sydenham Golden Eagles. Mike Love. You talk about a guy who's had so much success with the Sydenham Golden Eagles over the past year. He's had a lot of fun with this squad. Be 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Crestwood Mustangs. Here they are on the run. Now we're seeing some helmet-on-helmet action, Brian, as Dylan Kemp takes the ball just out over the 40-yard line.
I like that. A 6'3", 210-pounder says, hey, I'm a big dude. You can't just come around and just tackle me. I'm not going to let it be easy for you. You can see him right there. And he's ready right there. He's like, bam, right there. That's the type of football player you want on your team right there.
Dylan Kemp, as they continue to rotate the quarterback situation between Aaron Brown and Dylan Kemp, sure keeps defenses very honest.
Absolutely, and you got to keep defensive honest, especially the Golden Eagles defensive line. These guys like to come down and blitz every time to time, so you got to make sure by keeping them honest, you got to have those types of plays.
They'll get the ball out just over a 50-yard line, as that was Carl Williams, the running back. Let's look at the replay, Brian.
And there he is going right up to the 42 gap, right up the A gap, and he's just trying to get yardage, move the ball down the field, gets a first down. That's exactly what they want.
It's the first time we've seen Carl Williams touch the ball here in this game, so certainly Gar Scott, Shane Oldfield and company are looking to use the options. minimal yardage on that carry in a 1st and 10 situation. Let's take a look at Mackenzie Clarkson. As we've seen him time and time again touch the ball, Brian.
And there's McKinnon. Look at that awareness there, right there. He knew there would be flow coming from the Eagles on the other side, and he had enough sense as a good running back and takes the ball all the way down the field, takes it again and again and again. And you want to talk about a workhorse? This is a workhorse right here. You want a running back at the CIS level? McKenzie's your guy because you know you can count on him to make you plays.
And the Crestwood Mustangs looking to take the ball themselves. I thought that was a botched play. It's a fumble, and the Sydenham Golden Eagles have come up with the ball at the 53-yard line.
Huge play by the Eagles. Their defense is making plays. Their defense is making plays. They've capitalized on interceptions. They've gotten fumbles. And look at this right here. Boom. Making sure that they create the fumble, and he knows it. He knows it. That's a great job by creating the fumble by Nick Halliday, the 5'10", 180-pound linebacker, makes a key play.
Nick Halliday creates for a 1st and 10 situation with the Golden Eagles on the 53. Renewed momentum for the Golden Eagles. Here we are in shotgun. They hand off. They're going to drive it right up the gut. Luke Elson in on the tackle.
Right up the gut, moving the ball. Right now we're going into the 4th quarter, tie game, 10-10. This is anybody's ball game, Dana. Who wants it more? That's what it's really going to come down to. Who wants some more? Who wants to be the champion? Who's going to prove that they deserve to win? Because right now both these teams are relatively evenly matched. It's going to come down to that one play that's going to be the difference. It's going to be a run.
That was Josh Thompson checking back into the lineup for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. They're going to place the ball on the 52. It'll be 2nd and 5. And Brian, they're going to call timeout. They want to talk things over. No, they're going to withhold on the timeout. Just change a few player personnel and get back out on the field and have your key personnel out there, Brian. That's so crucial.
Absolutely, and that's why a lot of these key personnel players play more than one position. They play offense, they play defense, and they play special teams. And that even happens in the pros too. I remember being in the pros where in the Grey Cup versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders, we had our top players, starting defense, playing special teams. You want your best players out on the field. This is a championship game. You don't hold anything back.
No.
You got to leave all the cards out on the table. So that's what both teams are doing right now.
They hand it off. Josh Thompson and Brett Irwin have that special combination. Very fluid with the handoffs. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 45 for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. We're tied at 10 here in the 4th. Wow. We knew this was going to be exciting coming down the stretch, Brian, and as it unfolds, it's making us look like pros.
Well, these guys are sure not disappointed. I mean, 10-10 with only, 11 minutes and change going down. Tie game.
Brian, let's take a look at Sydenham's very busy schedule over the past 4 days, and there's who they've had to play in order to get to this National Capital Bowl here today.
And there hasn't been much rest either. You got to think, this is football. This is a collision sport, right? These kids are banging heads, and your body needs a break. These kids have been playing with very little rest in between, so it shows the real mental, physical toughness that this team brings.
They go off tackle on the play. Get another couple of yards. They continue to move the sticks. Momentum certainly going in the way of the Sydenham Golden Eagles at the moment.
Well, I don't know, Dan. It's 10-10, and we got to see what's going to happen. I mean, Mackenzie, we got to see what's going to happen when Mackenzie gets back out there. I don't know where the momentum's going right now. I say it's pretty evenly matched.
Ball placed on the 38. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Good look at Luke Elson, a fellow who never misses his turn at the buffet table.
I think we went to the buffet and he kicked me out. He kicked me off the table. He had so many plates. He's like, Brian, you can't eat here.
Josh Thompson.
I'm like, what do you mean I can't eat here? He goes, you can't eat here. There's not enough space for me. So I got booted.
Brett Irwin slowly walking over onto the sideline. Luke Elson looking for some air as well. The big boy out there, and he's sure put out a lot of sweat on the field here today.
He has. There's a big boy. He threw down the quarterback like a ragdoll earlier. You know? I think we might have to check some ID with these kids, Dana.
Yeah. They'll be checking our ID.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 40. Crestwood Mustangs in I formation. They hand off. And that's quite a run for Mackenzie Clarkson. That appears to be a first down.
Mackenzie Clarkson, he's definitely over 150 yards. You want to talk about a kid who's, he might be MVP if he keeps this up.
Look on the replay as Mackenzie Clarkson brings it out just over the 50-yard line. Sydenham Golden Eagles looking to stop whatever they can. That was Josh Dumaresque on the play. 1st and 10 on the 53. Crestwood in shotgun, coming with 5 receivers off the line. And they hit the target.
Nice catch. Very nice catch by Dylan Kemp. 6'3", 210-pounder. He's the same individual that came around the corner and put his head down, running over players. He's got nice soft hands there, moving the ball forward. Definitely want to get in field goal range minimum here. I don't know if they're going to try to risk it again, especially a 10-10 score. If they get in scoring opportunity and try to take a chance on 3rd down, I'm sure they're going to take any points where they can get them now.
1st and 10 from the 47. The Crestwood Mustangs. They've seen some great success under quarterback Brad Sinopoli before he went to the University of Ottawa Gee-Gees, and here they are today playing in this National Capital Bowl. We got a flag in the air as Mackenzie Clarkson on the run. See what the officials rule on this play. And it's going to go against the Sydenham Golden Eagles, and that's a major penalty too.
That is a major penalty. This is bringing the Mustangs closer to scoring range. You want to keep them out of scoring range, whether it's field goals or touchdowns. The last thing you want is to have these types of penalties in your own side of the field. This is the difference between winning and losing.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Sydenham 30. Here's the Crestwood Mustangs. This game has been a pendulum of momentum.
It has been. And both teams have been going back and forth, smashing.
Clarkson in motion. Brown in the pocket with the throw, and it's caught.
Nice tackle. Beautiful open field tackle. If he never made that tackle, he would have taken it to the house. That was a good tackle, good route. He did a little in and out, which we call a bang route. But good job. Nice open field tackle.
Ben Nanny with the reception. We haven't heard too much about him in the second half, but that's a great man coverage by Kieran Doyle on the play.
Did a good job.
Great matchup between the defensive back and the receiver. Here's Aaron Brown, single back.
They're in cover
and
zero.
There's a drop of the ball on the play. Does he recover? Yes, he does. That was Mackenzie Clarkson. Is it enough for a first down, Brian? I don't think it is.
Pretty close. We're going to see right now. I think it's short. It's definitely short by about 3 yards.
It'll be a 3rd down and 2 to go at the 22. The fans are definitely into it here with 6:03 and counting left in this National Capital Bowl matchup. Here's the field goal attempt. And it's good. The kicking game has been crucial.
Kicking game, the special teams overall has been crucial. I mean, with 5:53 left, kicking that field goal, putting them up 13-10. I mean, the Eagles are definitely going to have to move this ball down the field and try to make some plays. Now, their running game, Dana, has not been too spectacular today. Has not been too spectacular. Their passing game has been pretty effective, but unfortunately, the receivers have not been coming up with the big catches that they need to do.
They take a 3-point lead courtesy of a Ben Nanny field goal. 5:53 and counting, Brian.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles have up their sleeve. They're definitely going to have to move this ball down the field, and I don't think it's going to be in the running game. The Mustangs have been doing a fantastic job from their defensive line, stopping them from the run. They have not been that much successful running the ball with Josh Thompson. He only had 8 carries for 32 yards, so they're going to have to go back up into the air, and these receivers are going to have to hold on to the ball.
These moments are so crucial now. Every mistake will be glaring. The coaches are into a chess match. Bunch formation on this kickoff. Very interesting how they're going to align this, Brian.
Well, you can see them breaking out, and what they do is they go in that bunch formation, try to hopefully throw off the count. Nice kick.
Nanny with the kick goes all the way down to almost the goal line. Here's the run back. This is Kieran Doyle. And he's tackled on the play by Tyler Lefley.
Got a flag.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sydenham Golden Eagles, and there's a flag on the play. Good look at Kieran Doyle.
The Eagles are going to have to move the ball down the field now because the defensive line for Mustangs has been pretty good today. So I know they like their little trickery. They like to do offset balance runs. But the ball's coming back, and this is not a good penalty to have at this time.
Luke Elson. When it comes down to the fine line, Luke Elson is right there. You can see the intensity of big number 90 in the lineup. Sydenham Golden Eagles with the ball on the 11. It will be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. In shotgun. Eagles with 5 receivers coming off the line. They're going to throw with the pass outside, and it's caught. And the Eagles will go out of bounds.
Good ball. I mean, that's a strong. That's a tough throw for
Brian, let's talk about the Sydenham Golden Eagles and the comeback kids. Postseason wins, and there they are. They trailed 14-1 at halftime, and they beat the
15-14. You can't knock them out. I mean, look at that. That's the Kingston Championship, right? And finally, you know, they were able to win that. They weren't able to win it for quite a few years, and finally they got over that hump. That was a big hump for them. And to win like that, there was the parents were telling me they were crying and they couldn't believe that they actually won the game, and tears were coming down their eyes. So, you know, this game means a lot to them. And look at that run.
Sydenham Golden Eagles get it out to the 28-yard line.
Got me excited there. Dana almost jumped down from the booth.
4:50 and counting here in this National Capital Bowl matchup. And for all the fans in Eastern Ontario and the Ottawa region, this is one heck of a matchup, as we've never seen anything but an A game here at the Rogers Centre when it comes to the National Capital Bowl. 1st and 10 on the 28. Here's Irwin. He's going to air it out. He's going long distance into double coverage. We got a flag on the play as the ball was intercepted. No doubt it's going to be pass interference.
Definitely pass interference. You know, the Mustangs, they want to hold on to this lead, but you can't count out the Eagles. You can't count them out. You got to remember, last week, for the first time in 5 years, Sydenham Golden Eagles, right? They won in the Kingston area, the Secondary School Athletics Association Senior Football Championship. So that was a big game for them to win. You know, they were down 14-1. Could you imagine being down 14-1 and then coming back winning 15-14? I mean, that's a big, huge win for them. People were crying, they were excited, and right now those same fans and friends and family are here today, and they're moving the ball down into scoring position. So
the intended target, Brian, was Ben Fisher into double coverage. Mackenzie Clarkson, the defensive back, charged with the pass interference call. Brian, I think you've been very much able to color what we've been saying out here today about the comeback kids, because they've never had a lead. They've always had to come back, or they've been tied.
That's right. They've always had to come back, and you can't count these guys out, right? And these guys are coming here making huge plays, and the Eagles, it's all about making big plays at the critical times.
Here we are, 1st and 10 at the 48. single back formation. Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. Aaron Brown hands off the ball. Sydenham Golden Eagles are going to stuff that one right there at the 50.
That's an excellent stop, because right now the number one important thing for the Golden Eagles to do is to get that ball back as soon as possible. That clock is running. We're in the fourth quarter right now. It's 13-10 with 3:46 left in the game. They want to make sure that they get another stop so they can get the ball, move the ball down the field, get at least a field goal, tie the game up, and put it into overtime.
Having the right personnel out on the field to deal with the next 3.5 minutes of intensity like they've never felt before.
This is going to be a big down for the Golden Eagles.
This is the National Capital Bowl on the line. Crestwood Mustangs with the pass outside. The reception's been made right at center. They'll move the sticks.
Good job by the Eagles, not giving them the first down. This is going to be an interesting call right now to see what they're going to do with the Mustangs. Are they going to go for it? Are they going to try to get the first down? Are they sending out the kicking team? Looks like they're sending out the kicking team right now. And it's going to be up to the Eagles to move that ball down the field.
Jeff Jones with the reception on the play. So the ball will be placed right there at center. That'll be 3rd and 3 for the Peterborough Mustangs, and they're in punt formation. They're not going to play games with this one, Brian. That punt was almost blocked.
Once again,
and it goes out of bounds.
They've been trying all day long to go for that block. They've been trying all day long going for that block. They've been getting pretty close. So right now, 2:47 left, down by 3. We've seen the comeback kids before, so we're going to see what they're made of right about now.
Dylan Kemp on the sidelines for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. I thought that punt was going to take out a couple of the recruiters from York University who've got a table on the west sideline.
The last thing we need is anything bad to happen to York University.
One thing we don't need is a coach on the DL at York. They're missing everything else.
That's all right. Well,
They
easy
certainly
now.
don't need a
I went
coach
to York.
injured.
I went to York, so
I won't hold that against you. Here's Sydenham in shotgun. He rolls. He's going to run with it. Brett Irwin will get it out to the 48-yard line with 2:32, and the clock continues as it holds here in the fourth quarter.
good job. He doesn't see anybody. He doesn't want to throw an interception. He takes it. Almost gets a first down. They got to get the ball to at least, I would say, the 30-yard line to get a safe distance for the field goal kicker to make something happen.
2nd and 1 at the 48. They're going to run it. And they've got the first down. The Sydenham Golden Eagles, the heart attack kids.
The comeback kids.
The cardiac kids.
That's it. You can see they're making big plays, moving that ball down the field. The last thing right now, though, Dana, is you don't want to turn over. Don't throw an interception, and don't fumble that football. Hold on to that ball when the opportunity's there.
Brian, both teams brought their mascots. I got to tell you, that's the thinnest looking Mustang I've seen in my life. There's the Sydenham Golden Eagles. They've got the ball, and they get it out to the 40-yard line. That was Josh Thompson to the Peterborough Crestwood Mustang 40.
You want to talk about turning something into nothing? That's exactly what happened there. That was a botched play. The quarterback looked back. You're going to see it right here. He's supposed to pitch it. It was botched. Okay, he saw the opportunity. He got some huge blocks by the offensive line, and that's a nice run.
Wow. Josh Thompson, a big reason why the Sydenham Golden Eagles are playing in this National Capital Bowl. They've called timeout. They want to talk things over. 1:53 left on the clock for the National Capital Bowl.
This is very interesting. You mean Josh Thompson, he was a little bit cold coming into the second half. He had 4 yards a carry, eight carries for 32 yards, so he was doing pretty good. And now he's turned it up. You saw McKenzie, their running back, turned up. The coach said, hey, look, I need you guys to turn it up too. This is the championship game. You want to make plays? This is it, guys. This is all that we have left. How bad do you want it? Execute the game plan. You can see everybody's on the field right now, and it's going to come down to the wire.
Josh Thompson, Brett Irwin, Ben Fisher. You go up and down the lineup for the Sydenham Golden Eagles. It's been cardiac all the way. through the playoffs.
They're going to have to hold on to this football now. This is this is going to be the key. No turnovers, because if you turn over the ball right now, it's pretty much game over, and Mustangs have broken the curse.
In play action, Irwin escapes a tackle. He's going to take it himself. He cuts inside on the play. No, he's still standing. And he gets taken down at the 31-yard line.
The
Brett
crowd,
Irwin. He wants to take it, Brent. He's wearing the C on his jersey.
hey, the crowd is going crazy here, Dana. Oh my goodness, look at this run here. You want to talk about desire? You want to talk about somebody who wants to make plays? You want to talk about somebody who says, hey, we're not going here empty-handed. This is a quarterback that says, Coach, I want to make a play. We need to make some points.
Brody Burkhoff and Ben Nybor had a shot at him. They just couldn't get their mitts around him. Irwin hands off.
Oh, that's a good run.
And they'll drive it to the 25-yard line with
There-
1:22 left on the clock.
Dana, 13-10, 122 left on the clock, 25-yard line, definitely within field goal range. What they're going to keep doing is just pounding this ball down the field, and hopefully they get a run that scores them a touchdown. If not, they're at least in field goal range. Don't fumble the football.
Irwin with the pass.
Oh,
Caught!
nice!
And he goes out of bounds as they stop the clock at the 15-yard line.
Are you kidding me? They're going crazy here. Holy smokes. What a huge catch.
That was Ollie Moisey who comes up with it, putting all 6 feet 3 inches into that catch.
Holy
Here we
moly.
are on the replay, Brian.
He has a defender all over him, catches the duck pass, and sure enough, he says, Coach, give me that ball, I'm going to make a play, and look what they do. My goodness.
Ben Nybor, the defensive back, was on him like white on rice as he got pushed out of bounds on the play. It's
White
first
on-
and 10 from the 15.
White on rice, like Uncle Ben's white on rice?
Shotgun. Here's Irwin. Play action. They're going to the end zone. That was quite a call.
McKenzie was there. He used his speed. He's playing at free safety. Oh, my goodness.
And then we're looking for the end zone on the play. That was Miles Frazier,
That
who was
was
the intended target.
I almost took my shirt off on that play.
Brian,
I'm getting too excited up here.
who's more intense? Up there or up here or down there?
I don't know.
We've got a timeout called on the play with 1:03 left here in this National Capital Bowl in regulation time. Sydenham. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 15.
And you can see the coach right there. He's talking to him. He's trying to calm him down and say, okay, guys, hey, we're here in scoring opportunity. All right, don't watch the clock. Don't worry about anything, okay? We have an opportunity to score. Just stay calm, and let's go out there and execute the play. So you know the coach is giving them the play. And there's the coach right there from the Mustangs saying, hey, guys, you got to hold them now, okay? You got to hold them. We're up. You know, if you get a turnover, create a turnover, and we got this game.
Shane Oldfield, Gar Scott. They realize they've got to stop this machine of the Sydenham Golden Eagles. The Mustangs have got the lead, but Sydenham has got the momentum. 1:03, and it's been swinging back and forth throughout this National Capital Bowl matchup.
And you got to think, Dana, the Mustangs want to break this curse. They do not want to be 4-0. And
Irwin going to the end zone. And out of bounds.
Oh.
A second crack at putting it into the end zone.
Oh, my goodness. That was excellent coverage by the Mustangs. Excellent coverage.
The intended target was Ben Fisher.
This is no gimme field goal now. This is no gimme field goal. This is a 15-yard field goal to tie the game. There's a lot of pressure here. If he does not make this kick, this is the Mustangs' ball, and they're going to break that 3-year curse of coming to this championship game and losing, and finally they can get that monkey off their back. You remember, like Steve Young said, I got that monkey off my back when they won their Super Bowl. So you know right now how much pressure is on that kicker's shoulder.
You talk about pressure on the line with the Sydenham Golden Eagles as they are going to attempt a field goal attempt. Put it up from the 15.
Now, normally, this is a gimme field goal, but under these circumstances, the complexity is completely changed. You can see the bench. Look at the Golden Eagles bench. These guys are on their one knees. The fans are going absolutely ballistic here. You know they want this. You know they're hungry for it. You know they want to make this to happen right now. Tie this game up. Boy, don't we got a ball game here, eh, Dana?
Tough situation right now, Brian, as they get set for a field goal with 55 seconds left on the clock. There's the kick. It's good, and they're tied. This game has the potential to go into overtime.
Oh, my God. You can see after he kicks the field goal, the relief. The relief.
Hayden Peters comes up with the field goal from the 15 to make it happen, and the fans are going crazy.
They're absolutely going ballistic here, and I don't blame them. My goodness, what a ball game, what a second half. Two teams coming out saying, hey, this is it. There's nothing left. You know how many seniors we have on both teams? A lot of these guys are going off to CIS. Some of these guys are never going to play football ever again. This is it, Dana. This is all they have to show. Right? They're going to be like Al Bundy. Remember Al Bundy?
Oh, yeah.
With children?
Oh, yeah.
All he could
Polk
talk
High
about,
School.
That's right. It's just talking about his high school football days, and that's it. So this is all these guys have left to prove what their worth is.
Ball on the 35. 48 seconds left in regulation time. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs.
Now the Mustangs, you know, all they want to do is get this ball down the field so they can at least get in field goal range and break that curse. And oh, they have a little trickery. He's gonna get.
Oh, it's almost picked up. As it was Aaron Brown throwing the ball to Dylan Kemp, and back to Aaron Brown on the option.
Huge play by Aaron Brown because, oh, we got a flag on the play, but great little play. Nice throw, but my goodness, great play by Brown to knock it down because he was wide open. Had he had caught that, there is huge real estate.
That would have been end zone all the way, Brian. That was Kieran Doyle who almost picked it off.
My goodness. Has things turned up here or what? Where's the AC? Because I need to cool down.
40 seconds left. Ball on the 35 and 2nd and 10 for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. I got a funny feeling it's going to be a big play that's going to settle this ball game.
Well, right now, with only 40 seconds left and it's on their 2nd down, you can see that they went to some trickery because all they really want to do is get into field goal range. That's going to be the key thing right here. Get into field goal range, get some points. And not even that, you got to think, right? We play in the Canadian football rules is if you kick that ball through the end zone, if you can get 1 point on the board, you still win the football game.
Here's Aaron Brown in I formation. They hand off. They're going to go off tackle on the play. Sydenham Golden Eagles have been very strong against the run.
Good job by McKenzie, still moving that ball. Still giving all he's got. Look, he's got both his hands on the side of his hips, but yeah, this kid's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going, keeps going. Is that shirt red or is it pink? Because right now he never gets tired.
You're looking at all the strong players in the lineup for the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs, and guys like Aaron Brown, Brody Burkhoff, Ben Nieni. They've put it out here today. Been a lot of sweat with 33 seconds left. Ball on the 41. It's 3rd down and 4. And I swear I've never seen coaches rack up more yardage themselves going on and off the field.
I don't know what this is. Dana, in all my years of watching football, I've never seen so many coaches go in and out of the football game. You're absolutely right. It's oh my goodness. Oh.
No flag on the play as we saw Sydenham Golden Eagles step off the line. The ball's going to bounce out of bounds, and the Golden Eagles will have the ball with 26 seconds left.
Yep, 26 seconds left, 4th quarter, tie game. Expect the Golden Eagles to take a shot down the field, put their team in field goal range, and worst case scenario, if your kicker has a strong enough leg, if you can kick that ball through the back of the end zone, you can get a rouge, which will be 1 point, where they can win the championship game like that. So I would anticipate right now they're going to take a couple shots down the field to at least get in a field goal range, take the ball up to the 30-yard line.
The Sydenham Golden Eagles, the cardiac kids of high school football here in Ontario this year. We're tied at 13. 26 seconds left in regulation time. They hand off. Crestwood Mustangs will stop it at the 40. That was Josh Thompson on the carry. Brian, have you ever played in a football game like this?
I did. When it was St. Thomas Aquinas versus when I was with Aquinas, we played against St. Francis Xavier. And there was no time left on the clock, and they threw me a hitch pass where I ran it for 60 yards, and we won the championship game with no time left on the clock. So, yeah, I do know what it feels like.
What media coverage that would have been, as we see the ball just not hitting the target. They're throwing outside to Ollie Moisey on the play.
And Ollie Moisey, I mean, all day long, he's been a big target. I mean, you got the 6'3" wide receiver. I mean, that's a tall glass of water right there, the big target that they can throw that ball to.
That'll end regulation play. We're tied at 13 in this National Capital Bowl between the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs and the Sydenham Golden Eagles. We knew there was going to be a whole lot of excitement going into this game. We didn't realize it's going to take us into overtime.
Well, you want to talk about two teams? They took over in the second half. These two teams came out with the guns blazing. Both teams are very hungry. They want to make a difference. It's the last game. You have a lot of seniors on both teams, and this will be the end for a lot of guys' football careers. It's it. This is it. It's over. Only a handful of these guys will go on to the next level, playing at the CIS level or in the NCAA. So you got to leave it all on the table.
Here come the Crestwood Mustangs and the Sydenham Golden Eagles as the captains will come out on the field to talk about the overtime period. And Brian, wow, we have seen so much action here in this ball game. We're talking the best of the best here in Eastern Ontario.
And another key thing is, look at these scouts that are here. Oh my goodness, can you imagine you're a scout watching this? You're really getting to see, the gridiron of what these players are made of. You're getting to see the mental toughness, what they're made of, the physical toughness, what they're made of, the stamina. Now these guys are going to overtime. They want to see who's able to endure, playing another quarter of football.
Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs get the choice on that coin toss. Let's go down to Joe Pogue on the sidelines. Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks, guys. The last time a bowl game went to overtime was in 2006. St. Mary beat Lakeshore, and triple overtime. It was a touchdown that did it. Matt D'Amico was the hero.
Remember that, and wow.
That was a big game. I mean, triple overtime. You little Matty made a big play with the big catch, and that's exactly what can happen today. I mean, right now, this is going to be definitely a defining moment. You got to think, this is a championship game. It's down to the wire. This is where people are going to remember for the rest of their lives, where you think back 20, 30 years later and say, hey, you remember that championship game where we were in Toronto and you scored that touchdown when we won? This is it. This is it right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is it right here. This is where this all happens. This is where history's made.
The ball will be placed on the 35, and Brian, if you want to walk it through with the policies and regulations regarding overtime.
Well, right now,
first and 10 at the 35 for the Sydenham Golden Eagles.
We got the Golden Eagles on the 35-yard line, and it's pretty much the team has the opportunity to move the ball and score into the end zone from the 35-yard line, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. It's up to the Mustangs to stop them from happening. So you don't have a kickoff like a normal overtime. You get the ball automatically on the 35-yard line, and you got to move it down the field, whether you're going to kick a field goal or a touchdown.
The reception's made as the Golden Eagles move the ball down to the 30. They had that opportunity in the past Ben Fisher, another big reason why the Golden Eagles are playing in this National Capital Bowl here today. There he is on the reception. He was wide open on that stop route. Shotgun. 3 receivers coming off the line. Hitch pass. That was a dangerous pass going on the outside. He's got the ball. Hopefully out of bounds on the play. That's Ollie Moisey. And in the second half, Brian, we've mentioned his name quite often.
He's been making a lot of plays this second half. I think he's got some stickum on his hands because he is catching everything but a cold. Ollie Mosey's been making plays and he's moving this ball down the field, and I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if they toss that ball up and he just gets a little jump ball and scores a huge touchdown.
Brian, I think you're right that I don't remember Ollie Moisey dropping a pass here in this game.
No.
They're going to hand off, go right up the gut. Bit of hesitation. No, they're going to cut back inside on the play. Josh Thompson with the carry, and he brings it down to just over the 10-yard line. They're in the red zone.
Now the Mustangs must buckle down. They're kind of playing with their heads down right now. They got to realize it's overtime. It's 13-13. It is not game over. Okay, it is not game over. They're going to have to buckle down and make a huge play and create a turnover.
The Sydenham Golden Eagles, the Cardiac Kids. Here's Brett Irwin in shotgun. Looking for the end zone. Oh! And into man coverage, and it just didn't work.
Very close, kind of looked like it could have been a flag.
He went back to Ben Fisher on the play. Brian, maybe he went too many times to the well.
Very, very close. I mean, he was the number 2 receiver on the boundary side. He ran a little hitch pattern at about 6 yards. It was a good call, but the quarterback's got to release the ball quicker, especially on those types of patterns, because the DB closes very quickly.
The ball's on the 9. 2nd and goal. They're going to go outside with the pass, and it's caught! He goes out of bounds on the play.
What a huge
They go right back to Ben Fisher on the catch, Brian.
What a huge throw. To make that type of throw on this level, I mean, he's thrown that ball all the way from the short side to the strong side. Great accuracy. Big catch. Obviously looks like they're bringing out, could be the field goal unit, but let me see what's going to happen.
That was Drake Westington, the defensive back on the play. In man coverage.
No, they're going
Ben
for it.
Fisher, and this is gutsy.
No, they're
going to go for it, Brian.
This is big. This is big.
They hand off on the play. And Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs stop the run on the 2-yard line, and they stop the run.
This could be costly. This could be very, very costly. Dana, this is a championship game. They should have taken the points, and sure enough, the defensive line from the Mustangs answered the bell. Now all the Mustangs need is to get into field goal range, which they are, because the ball's going to be on the 35-yard line, and they could win this game and break their 4-year curse of coming here 0-3 in a championship game.
Josh Thompson, the senior in the lineup, there he is on the bench, and he's thinking twice.
Well, it's not Josh, Dana. That's the coach. That's the coach's decision.
And Ben Fisher right in front of him, Brian, and geez, obviously it's not the call you would have made. but there they are with the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs with the ball on the 35 with their opportunity to take it over.
That's it. I mean, right now they're already in field goal range, so they're obviously going to try to, push this ball down the field, give it to their guy, McKenzie, and sure enough, there's McKenzie again. I'm sure he's probably over 175 yards in rushing. Right, give it to their bread and butter. If they kick this field goal, they win this game, and the curse has been broken.
This game features 2 of the best backs in the business, in Josh Thompson and Mackenzie Clarkson. The ball on the 32. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
And this could be a call that could be haunting the head coach forever, especially if they lose this game. That's a very, very gutsy call. I can see why he would try to go for it, but that's a very gutsy call, especially when the points are right there in front of you. You got to take them when they're there.
For the fans in Eastern Ontario, they must be outside of themselves right now. Brown hands off the ball. They're going to drive it off tackle. They get it to just shy of the 25-yard line.
That's it. I would anticipate the field goal unit to come out now. I mean, you know the kicker's got lots of leg. This is it. Can the curse be broken?
The Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs. They've been to the big dance 3 times in the past.
And you can see right now, if we could get a close-up, we got 2 returners in the back of the end zone because they understand that if he misses this field goal, they're going to want to kick this ball out of the end zone as soon as possible, because if they do get tackled in the end zone, they will still win the game.
Here's the attempt. It's
That's it!
Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs win
They've done it!
That's Ben Danny who comes up with the field goal from the 27, and the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs take the National Capital Bowl Championship.
Wow, the curse has been broken, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, the Mustangs, for the 4th year, coming to the championship game, have broken the curse. They've done it. They've kicked a huge field goal to win the game. This is unbelievable.
Mike Love made a coaching decision to run with a run by Josh Thompson, and it was stopped short by the Peterborough defense. Crestwood comes back from the 27 with a field goal that goes through the uprights to win it. Unbelievable football game.
What a game, Dana. You want to talk about getting the monkey off their back? They didn't get the monkey off their back. They got the world off their back. Steve McKenzie had a phenomenal game. I called him Atlas earlier. What a phenomenal player. He had over 175 yards of rushing. They finally come into the championship game, kick a huge field goal to win. Unbelievable. One thing that's going to be happening with the Golden Eagles, that call is going to haunt them for the rest of their lives.
Unbelievable as we see the Peterborough Crestwood Mustangs in jubilation over this championship of the Sydenham Golden Eagles. Now, you have to admire the Cardiac kids. They've been coming back and coming back and coming back throughout the entire course of the playoffs. 4 games in 12 days. Unbelievable the route that they had to take in order to get here today.
Well, the Eagles are absolutely phenomenal. The game before this, they were 14-1, and they came back and won the game 15-14. So you know that they have the comeback ability to win. But I got to be honest, in all my years of football, that was not the best coaching decision, not to kick the field goal and get some points on the board and then hope that your defense would stop the Mustangs.
Let's go down to Joe Pogue on the field. He's got the head coach with him.
Thanks a lot, guys. Is it safe to say one kick just ended 3 years of heartbreak?
Oh my goodness, that's one of the most exciting games I've ever been a part of. I just can't believe it. My hat's off to Sydenham. They were terrific. But our kid came through when he had to. He's a great kicker. He hit them all today. He is a spectacular kicker, and what a great way to finish the season.
Perfect scenario, really, having been denied 3 times and then coming into overtime. Has there ever been, do you think these kids are ever going to be through anything like this again?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I ever will. I don't think my heart can take it much more. I tell you, I'm getting a little too old for this, and it was really quite exciting, and I'm elated. I don't know what more to say. Just thrilled.
Well, congratulations very much, Coach, and I'll let you go enjoy the celebration.
Thank you.
So the Crestwood curse is over. The Mustangs, after 3 years, finally host the National Capital Bowl. Let's send it back upstairs, guys.
Thanks very much, Joe. And Ben Nanny has to be congratulated with that field goal from the 27-yard line to put it through the uprights and take this championship 16-13 over the Sydenham Golden Eagles. But it was a coaching decision that enabled for that 27-yard field goal. I'll tell you what, Brian, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with more of the postgame. You're watching the National Capital Bowl here on Rogers TV.
Rogers TV, your local sports authority.
Thanks, guys. Standing now with Mackenzie Clarkson. Mackenzie, what a way to cap off the season. Could you have thought of a better way to finish?
Oh, no way. This is a movie script ending. Overtime, finals, and we win with the final field goal with a hard kick to make, even with a good kicker like Ben Nanny. And I'll never forget, this is the best feeling in the world.
Grade 12, possibly your last year in high school. Could you have wanted to leave high school any other way?
No, like I had to leave like this. I wasn't satisfied unless we won this. We made it here last year. I was here, and it was really disappointing. And I expected to make it here, and winning it just like surpasses the expectations.
Now you talk about being here before. What does this do to vindicate maybe erase the ghost? Spoke to the coaching staff a little bit earlier. Ending 3 years of heartbreak. Can you talk about what this means, not only to you but to the school who's been through so much?
Well, it means that like people might question whether or not the Kawartha area can even compete in the National Capital Bowl, because we always make it. We make it this far and lose to the Ottawa region. But now this just proves that we can hang in there, and like we're number 1 this year in that region. So this is for the guys that played last year and that played their heart outs last year, and we just didn't quite make it.
Now a huge beginning and a little bit of a letdown throughout the first quarter, but a definite pickup. How difficult was it on the bench to watch the defense have to stop that Sydenham rush right at the last second?
Well, I played on defense, but it was like I was playing safety. It was hard to watch our guys miss tackles, and you know, I don't know, we came back though, and the final in overtime when we stuffed them, when they went for the touchdown, was just amazing. It showed that our guys keep going and they don't give up, and it was just great.
Well, thank you very much for this, and congratulations on what you called a fantasy win.
Oh, for sure, yeah. The best feeling in the world.
Mackenzie Clarkson of the Mustangs, and the curse is finally over as they are able to bring home a championship. Guys.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line at 613-759-8622 or email us your comments.